After you have established your tree limb, we are going to start working on the eyeballs. We want to put a really pitch black in the center where the pupils are at, and then let's do a radial design where we're moving our way out using spokes of straight diagonal lines in a circular wheel-like direction for the irises of your horned owl. After you are done adding your dark brackets of directional line, I want you to feather a soft layer of shade in between each of the brackets that you have established in the owl's eyeball. Let's move in the same direction as the brackets themselves. Let's emphasize that directional line movement that I was talking about earlier, but you're going to want to go super light. So after you're done doing that, make sure that you are feathering around your highlights. Those are those bright white circular shiny spots in the eye. It's going to make your owl's eyeball look more three-dimensional if you choose to do so. And then let's outline the eye itself, especially near the top of curve of the eye. Let's outline with a hard, crisp, dark line. This is really going to make your eyes pop on your owl. Once we have established the outside of the eye, we are going to continue to use that feathery directional line for the kind of feathery brow that goes above the eye. Here we call this like the feather brow. Um, Instead of doing a diagonal line, I want you to do a slight curve. The goal here is to kind of make your shading process kind of move in the direction of which the feather is going. For our owl, our feathers are going out and above the eye at a kind of a curve. Don't focus specifically just on the eyebrows themselves. Instead, let's start feathering in those outer cheeks to help that mask of the owl pop from the background. We're also going to use a side diagonal hatch on the fur, or not the fur, the feathery portion above the head, and then we will go back to the eyebrows, add an additional layer or two on top of those to kind of help make them pop. We're doing the outline of the face and the skull first to kind of give more of an accurate background. Because if you try to shade something without having other information included in your artwork, you're going to make inaccurate guesses and you might risk going too dark too quickly. Once we have established the shading on your owl's head, we're going to start moving onto the floof that wraps around the throat and the breastplate of your owl. We're going to use one layer of diagonal hatch, and we're going to start from the edge and move our way across the piece. Remember to vary the amount of line strokes you are using so that way you don't accidentally catch up uh, with more than one layer or two of ink in certain areas on your owl's chest fluff, so to speak. Normally, I would encourage you to keep moving forward with your owl's body before adding layer number 2 to your chest fluff. For some reason, when doing this artwork, I wanted my chest fluff to be extra dark. I wanted it to be prominent. I wanted it to like poof out and be easily seen. This fluff is used to protect the throat and some of the tender organs of the owl, and it's also used to help keep the owl warm during the winter time. So you decide how dark you want to go, but I wanted mine to have a bit of contrast with the owl's body. So I added at least 2 layers of fluff on to my 2 layers of shadow onto my chest fluff. Let's start with a light side diagonal hatch for our filler shade and then top it off with a series of U's for your bird's wingspan. These U's are going to kind of give a sense of texture. It's going to make your wings look more realistic, touchable. It's going to kind of give it more of a realistic flair. Now, I'm going to go in with 2 layers of these to kind of make that wingspan nice and dark, and I'm going to gently feather in the edge of my wing so that way it doesn't appear to be too outlined. For this artwork, we're literally using a sense of directional line all throughout the piece. To create a sense of unity, but also to create a sense of texture and to help your viewer feel like they are lost within the owl's eyes and details when looking at this piece. All right, so I lied. I added 3 layers of textured line to the wings. I'm going to add just an additional layer here, just underneath the chin strap of my owl. And then we're going to work on those lovely little talons. Feather in the outside of your talons and feel free to use like a curved C-line shape to shade those puppies in. Just don't go too dark too quickly. And then I'm going to use a series of really spaced out U's for the chest. I want this area to stay light so we have that really nice contrast between our feather markings or our feather groups. So you decide how dark you wish to go in that area, but I want to keep it light. I took some time looking at my owl and I really want to add some little bits of rich edges to my owl's body. So I'm going to fine tune these wings, kind of make them blend better. We're going to add an additional layer of curved shade or shadow to the underside of my owl's scruff here. And then I'm thinking right here we also should be kind of creating a little bit of divots of shade or shadow here to kind of make it look more like it's a fluffy piece and not just one singular blob. And you can really see how it's starting to kind of bring out the texture in the bird. I'm going to also crispen up the line on the edges of my bird's skull. Maybe even darken these eyebrow floofs. That way the eyes can pop even more. This is how you can fine tune your bird. And whatever you do, don't forget the beak.